Have you ever noticed the more you consume, the more depressed you become? This is because you are not designed to consume. You are designed to create, turning non-physical into a physical reality, thoughts into physical reality. You hold the power. The same power that God created the physical world is the same power that you hold of turning non-physical thoughts into a physical, tangible reality. Stop consuming. Let's create. The Bible is secretly encoded. The three wise men are parts of your brain. You have three glands in the brain, the pineal, thalamus, and pituitary. The three men give presents to Jesus. These three glands give presents to your body. The thalamus produces dopamine. Pineal gland produces melatonin, which rejuvenates red blood cells and slows aging. The pituitary gland produces serotonin, a natural mood stabilizer, heals wounds, toxin regulation, bowel movement, maintaining wakefulness. Three wise men are the three glands in the brain, and the presents are serotonin, melatonin, and dopamine to the central nervous system and the body. The body's health relies on the harmonious functions of these three glands in your brain. The Bible is not history and is not meant to be taken literally. Music is magic. It reprograms your subconscious mind. This is why you remember the lyrics, because it impresses your subconscious. Repetition is the fastest way to ingrain your subconscious. Repetitive beats puts the brain in hypnosis, where the subconscious mind becomes highly suggestible, planting drugs, money, and sex into your mind. Why do you think your body has to move to the music? Because it puts you in a hypnotic trance. Music invokes emotion, conditions your mind, makes your physical body dance, and can raise your energy or lower your energy. Music influences your four bodies: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. Listening to music is a magic ritual. A ritual is just a ceremony you do over and over to invoke that state of consciousness to impress in your subconscious mind. Your physical reality is an externalization of your conditioned mind. Condition your mind wisely with the correct lyrics. Freemasons use this symbol. G is the generative principle. This is the secret power to create anything in your life. The generative principle is about creation, genesis, or generation. All creation requires this one generative force. That force is love or care. If you care about football, you will generate that reality, think, feel, and act towards it. If you don't care about football, you will not generate that reality. We all care about staying in our homes. Therefore, we use our thoughts, emotions, and actions to generate money. When we have a child, we care for them. We generate their life and look after them. All of creation is based upon this generative principle. The sun cares, therefore it gives all of its life and energy to the earth to make sure we live. Trees make sure the trees next to them are all healthy because they care and send minerals to each other. Are you starting to get the point? All creation demands a care or a love energy. In life, you create what you care about. If you don't care about something, you do not create that reality. This is the most potent force in the universe. In order to create something long-term in your life, you have to care about it. Now you are aware of this, you can use this to your advantage. You are born into sin. Sin is the sine wave. Everything in creation does the sine wave. Midday, midnight, summer and winter. DNA, the dollar bill. The sun does a sine wave. You are born into a dualistic reality. Before you were born, you had a unified consciousness. Then you manifested into a dualistic reality and divided into a spiritual being and a material being, to light and dark, good and evil. Your consciousness split. You are born into the sine wave of a dualistic reality. Spirit guides are not guiding you. They don't exist. Your true spirit guide is actually within you, and this is your emotion. Every thought you think, every action that you've ever done is judged by your emotions. Your emotions tell you whether that was a good thing or a bad thing. In our hearts, we all know what is good and bad. Each one of us are encoded with God's law of love and care, and we're being guided through our emotional intelligence. Manly P. Hall teaches, every time you go against your soul's guidance of goodness, you destroy the electromagnetic field around your body, weakening your cells, your organs in your body. We quite literally degenerate ourselves by doing evil and going against our heart, which is an electromagnetic vortex, producing an electromagnetic field around your body. This is why positive people have a powerful presence, a powerful aura about them. Spirit guides are not real, it's just the new age. Everything is within. Adam and God do not touch. Adam represents your physical avatar. God is in the brain because God is consciousness. God is reaching. Adam is slouching. Ignorance, comfort, lower mind. God is reaching and trying, which is the higher mind. All you have to do is to lift your finger to connect with God. God is consciousness. Lifting your finger is symbolic of just trying to meditate and trying to connect with your higher mind. This artwork is in the Vatican, and this is next to it also. Looking at the neck, we see the human brainstem, and another one showing you the human brain. The Vatican is showing you in your face that God is inside of you. God is the creative force within you that can turn thoughts into reality. You are a co-creator, creating your own earth and reality. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. They want you to believe God's outside of you so you don't connect with yourself. Your life will change when you realize dreams are not just dreams. Everything you experience in your dream, the people, the things you see, and the events that play out are materializations of your subconscious mind. For example, if you see a big dark figure chasing you in your dream, that figure is a symbol for the darker aspects of your subconscious mind. It could be a suppressed emotion, a trauma, or something bad in your subconscious. Your higher mind does not speak the human language or thoughts. It speaks to you and communicates through symbols. If you're a Christian and you saw Jesus in your dream, you did not see Jesus. You saw your own belief take a form inside your imagination, and that Jesus figure is a symbol that represents an aspect of your mind. It was your belief materializing inside the fourth dimension, the astral plane or imagination. If you want to take advantage of your dreams, write them down in detail of every person, event, and thing that played out in the dream, and try to see what it symbolizes, holistic. What is it metaphorically saying to you? Because that is how the higher self communicates to you, through symbolism. Here's how I used magic to escape the prison of my old miserable life. Magic is not what you think. It's the power to hack your subconscious mind. Beliefs act like filters. They shape how you see reality. And whatever belief you hold, your conscious mind always seeks to validate that belief. For example, I always told myself I was a failure. That became my belief. And because I believed I was a failure, I only perceived reality through this filter. I saw failures in other people, in myself, in environments, all because my conscious mind was seeking to validate my belief. So then I flipped the script. I used visualization, meditations, and rituals to reprogram my mind, to believe that I was successful and I could achieve anything. After a year of doing this, my mind now seeks anything in my external reality to validate my belief of that I am successful. If something bad happens in my reality, I no longer spiral. My old mind would have told me, see, you're a failure. But now my mind says, you can overcome this. You can achieve anything. That's the power of reprogramming your mind. It doesn't just change how you think, it completely changes your reality. Earth is meant to be a school and not a prison. And the reason we come to this earth is to limit our mind. Every single one of us has a screen in our mind. And this is what we call imagination, which is basically another dimension which sits just on top of the physical world. Everything down here in the physical world was pulled out of this higher dimension above, the imagination. In that dimension, we exist as a spirit or an astral body. That's what we call it. In this dimension, you have no limitations. Anything you think is what you become as an astral body. So think of it like this. A thought is just a thought alone in the mental plane. And then the body of a thought is imagination, which is the astral plane. And then the body of the astral plane is the physical body. So in the physical world, we're basically living in crystallized thought. Our consciousness operates in these higher dimensions. We do not operate in the physical dimension. That's what the brain is for. The brain is the computer to decode the commands from the higher dimensions that you exist in. We come to the physical world to place restrictions on our minds so that we can learn, experience pain. We can't experience pain in these higher dimensions. You return to this astral dimension every single night when you go to sleep. This is why you can't punch people in your dreams. And this is why when you fall off a building, you feel nothing in your dreams, because it's not a physical dimension. So we come down here to place restrictions so that we can actually learn more about ourselves, restrict ourselves, and experience the God consciousness in physical form. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Your head is heaven and your heel is hell, and the bottom of the foot is called the soul. Your soul is suffering in hell if your mind is negative, filled with chaos, seeking validation from the external world. You are not your mind. You are the soul, the one who observes and controls the mind. Life is all a mental game. And if your mind is in chaos and negativity, your soul, suffers from the mind. Heaven and hell are just symbolic places, symbolic of the state of your mind. Life is an experience of the mind. Control your mind, you control your reality. Circles are feminine, lines are masculine. This is present in the human body. Undeniable proof that everything is an intelligent design. The Egyptians knew this. The rod with a curve represents feminine. The rod with a line represents masculine. Crossing the masculine and feminine rods together represents unity of masculine and feminine energies of consciousness. The Freemasons show you the same thing. Compass creates circles, feminine. Square creates lines, masculine. Unity of masculine and feminine energies of consciousness. Aligning the left and right brain. Aligning actions with intuition. Mastery over spirit and matter. It's all the same symbolism, merging the masculine and feminine energies of consciousness. And this is what allows you to reach a higher consciousness, a higher understanding of yourself. Masturbation is a sin. A sin is not an action against God. The word sin means god of the moon in Mesopotamian. The moon is feminine. The feminine aspect of consciousness is intuition and emotion. She tells you what is right and wrong at all times. An action taken against what you know is right is a sin against your intuition, which leads you down an egoic path of destruction. All actions come from emotions that you felt. A sin is a negative emotion that pulls you down and lowers your consciousness. And it's an action that goes against your intuition. Religion is fear-based control. They want you to fear that you go to hell. To control your physical actions. You feel God's law every single day. You know what is right at all times. Lust is an illusion. This is what Lucifer is. This is the sigil of Lucifer. This is your brain's visual field. Lucy means light. Fer means bring. Your eyes are the light bringer that allows you to see physical reality. You are a soul in a physical body. The physical world is a simulation produced by your nervous system. Lucifer represents the beauty of the world. Something that looks beautiful and appears to be good. It pulls you in, but leads you to something evil and dark. Lucifer is something that seduces you, appears to be good, but slowly corrupts you into darkness. It looks like the light, but it takes you into darkness. The Holy Grail is the neck and the head. The ancients traveled across the world to find the Holy Grail. This journey to find the Holy Grail is symbolic of going within the self. They did not travel across lands to find the Holy Grail. Holy Grail is an inward journey of gaining the sacred knowledge of what you truly are. The cup is filled with light. Light is symbolic of knowledge. When someone's very smart, you call them bright. Illuminati is illumination of the mind. It's information of the self. Quest to find the Holy Grail is about finding the light within, gaining information about the self. Ancient knowledge is hidden behind allegories and stories. The Vatican is a snake. The snake represents Satan. Snakes are stuck to the ground. The ground symbolizes the physical world. The ground represents low consciousness, identifying with the ego. But snakes can shed their skin. They can remove layers and transform the self. This is why we see so much snake symbolism in the old world, because it represents transforming the mind. From matter, the ego, up to spirit, the higher self. Kundalini is symbolized as a snake, because we're transforming energy to the brain. The snake in the garden transformed the minds of Adam and Eve. Satan is the ego, and this is the state we need to transform from. All religions show this snake symbolism, because this was the ancient understanding of transforming consciousness. They made you scared of all the sacred symbols. That's why scared rearranged is sacred. They don't want you researching these symbols because they unlock profound teachings about yourself, on how you can go from matter into spirit and become a powerful being. They want you trapped inside of the box, the material plane, living in fear and operating on the surface level of your consciousness and being dominated by external influences. What if I told you you had the power to create your own reality? And you can only do this by mastering yourself. No external God is coming to save us. We must save ourselves. Have you ever wondered why all the ancients used to hold canes? Canes we use today have rubber tips. Ancient canes used natural materials with metal handles and metal tips with a wooden pole. The ground is electromagnetic. These canes were used for grounding. The electromagnetic energy of the earth was connected to the body by grounding these poles. Today we use unnatural materials, which doesn't allow energy from the earth to transfer to your hand. These canes were not for fashion, they were used to ground. We have been disconnected from the earth. Rubber sole shoes were invented to disconnect us. The ancients even had grounding shoes. Everything today has just been inverted. We've never been so disconnected from nature. The Jordan River is your spine. The 7 lamps in the Bible are the 7 chakras. Your brain's the Garden of Eden. The pineal gland is the throne of God and the gateway to heaven. The Pope's staff represents the spine and the 2 Kundalini channels and the pineal gland. Salvation is salt. The brain produces a salt, a fluid which goes down the spine, which you must resurrect through your erectional energy, back to the head, which is resh, in Hebrew for head. By following the word of God, following your inner guide, you save your salt and you raise it. Once you do this, you then have the key into the kingdom of heavens, the realms beyond the physical, to access the dimensions within your mind. Also the Holy Grail, or the power symbol. In the Vatican, you have the pine cone, and this is the head. It is the Pope holding the pine cone. We are all God. There is no God outside of you. Everything is God. All religions were made to make you look outside yourself so that you can become powerless. All religions are corporations. It's all a scam to keep you asleep. Stars are portals that lead into the astral plane. This is why the word astral has star within it. As above, so below. Whatever happens in the astral happens in the physical. It's a mirror. And this is why the Masons have the 2 pillars. It represents the number 11. As above, so below. The mirroring effect of reality. And this is why astrology is so important, because it can foretell the future. The Bible even says this, and let there be light in the firmament of the heaven, and let them be for signs. This is why God says in Job, can you lead forth the Mazzaroth, which means 12 signs? Do you know the audience of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? The stars foretell the future on the earth. They rule over the earth. Above your head is a giant clock which foretells everything you need to know. A month is a month because the moon travels around the 12 signs every 28 days. The sun tells the time of day. Stars foretell the time of year. Every single one of you is born into a specific alignment into the stars and planets. This is why everyone is different, and this is why everyone is on a different path. By finding out your personal chart, you can figure out certain events in your life. If you want a reading, you can now get them on my website. The link is in the bio. This symbolizes incarnation. Apples are torus field. Physical matter is a result of 2 opposing forces equalized on the plane of inertia, which is planet Earth, a flat plane. They want you to believe everything is physical when it's actually holographic. You descended from spirit to matter. You bit the forbidden fruit, the apple, the torus field, and incarnated into physical matter. The apple is the torus field. The home screen is the torus field. Apple Watch has the seed of life, which is a top-down view of a torus field. The word physical is phi cycle. The phi is the torus field. It's the cycle of the torus field. Earth, growth, decay, death, back into counter space, and repeat. Infinity symbol comes from the torus field, which is the number 8. God, Allah, Elohim adds up to 8, because in John 1:5 it says God is light. The torus field is 1 unit of light. Everything is created out of light. Life is light. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. John 1:4. The outforce, male. The inforce, female. The atom that creates this reality is dualistic, hence why everything has 2 sides, good, evil, fun and boredom. The torus field is red and blue. Why do you think everything's red and blue? Roses are red, violets are blue. You chose to incarnate into physical matter. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. Adam and God do not touch. Adam represents your physical avatar. God is in the brain because God is consciousness. If you look at the earth from above, you will see this pattern. You will also see it on the earth, and you will see it inside of you. This proves there is a microcosm and a macrocosm. All things are in all things. And when God said, let us make humans in our image, in our likeness, this refers to as us being a microcosm of God. Your external physical world is generated from your invisible mind. The phone, the buildings, the cars that you have were manifested from pictures within the invisible mind. You are a creator. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Humans possess an advanced consciousness which can take something non-physical and manifest it into a physical reality. Your invisible self is God, but you think you are the body, which is Adam, the lower self. The early Christian artwork depict God is in the brain. Heaven is upwards, which is the head. It's the top of the body. The earth represents heart. This is the midpoint between good and evil. And your heel is hell. We need to kill the lower nature of ourself and live off the higher parts of the body. When you do something wrong, you can feel it inside of you, but invisible intelligence is always guiding you, and all you have to do is reach out to God, to touch God, the invisible intelligence, and become the higher self. The Masonic compass is a compass and a square. The compass for curves, which is the heavens, the dome. Square for flat planes, which is the earth, which then generates the Masonic royal arch symbol. It also represents the earth, the sun, the moon, the black sun, and Polaris. These are the symbols for the elements. The earth element is the sun, the moon, the black sun, and the flat plane. The sun rotates inwards and then outwards to create the summer and winter seasons. Tropic of Capricorn, the equator, and the Tropic of Cancer. The sun spirals inward to create a small rotation, which is summer for the northern hemisphere, then spirals outward to create the winter for the northern hemisphere, and repeats this process. The constellations are fixed and they rotate around us, creating a giant clock. The sun tells the time of day, the moon tells the month, and the stars tell the year. The sun and the moon rotate around the magnetic North Pole. This is the plane of inertia, planet Earth, and the northern lights come from the center. The sun and the moon represent the principle of creation, male and female, the sun being electric male, the moon being female, which is magnetic. They know this knowledge, but you don't. They want you stupid and dumb and not knowing where you are, but it's okay. I generated this book so you can find out the truth and so you can feel a sense of well-being instead of being confused. When the sun enters Aries, this is when nature springs back to life, symbolizing the start of a new life. The Passover is celebrated by the Jews and they eat lamb, because this is when the sun has now passed over the winter and hit Aries, the lamb. Christians celebrate Easter, which is the resurrection of Jesus. Jesus is the sun, hence why he has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs, 4 gospels for spring, summer, fall and winter. Jesus is known as the light of the world, the sun of God. They want us out of rhythm with nature. This is why they changed the new year to be in Capricorn when everything is dead, and then created April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day is the real New Year's. Link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom. The Masonic compass is a compass and a square. The square can only be used on a flat line, which is the flat plane. The compass creates archways and circles, which represents the heavens, which then gives you the symbol of the Masonic royal arch. This is the true cosmology. The compass is also representing the black sun, and the moon, and Polaris. This is sacred geometry. The 4 symbols for the 4 elements. The earth symbol is a triangle and a line. The black sun, and the moon, and the line for the flat land. This is the equator. This is the Tropic of Capricorn. This is the Tropic of Cancer. Summer is when the sun rotates inwards to the Tropic of Cancer. Then it will spiral outward to the Tropic of Capricorn to create winter, and then repeat this spiral. The electromagnetic Taurus field of the Earth, the plane of inertia, is the planet Earth, and the sun and the moon is rotating around the magnetic North Pole. The compass and the square also represents the sun, the moon, the black sun, and Polaris. Stop, watch this. Trees have a frequency around 200 Hz. They make you feel grounded, happy, and they also emit energy, which charges your electromagnetic field. This map shows the amount of trees in a lower class area. This is a higher class area map showing way more trees. Trees have the ability to ground you, which reduces inflammation and separates red blood cells from clusters, which makes the blood more fluid, which makes the heart work less, meaning it's keeping you more healthy. This is done intentionally. Let me know what you think about this. 6 is the number of time, space and matter. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 24 hours in a day, 2 + 4 = 6. Altogether, that's 666. The cube has 6 sides, and this is the geometric shape which gives rise to matter. Everything inside of the physical world has 6 sides, up, down, right, left, back and forward. We live in a 3-dimensional physical world where everything has 6 sides. The cross of Jesus is an unfolded cube. In Mecca, they worship the black cube. and the famous toy of Jack in the Box. Cube symbolizes the physical plane. The triangle symbolizes the ethereal plane. In order to project our consciousness outside of the physical plane, where we are not bound by time, space, and matter, you have to think outside the box. It's truth in plain sight. We are Jack in the Box. The North Pole of Saturn, you have the cube. Add up all the sides, it creates a 6-pointed star with 6 mini triangles and 6 sides, 666. We are created out of carbon, and carbon is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. The body is the mark of the beast because this is the mark of time, space, and matter. Our consciousness is hexed into time, space, and matter. And that's why the Bible says Satan, who is the god of this world. Satan is Saturn. Saturn is the god of this world. Saturn is pretty much the computer that we are in. The link is in the bio for my book of wisdom. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is the nervous system because it gives your soul the knowledge of good and evil. You are a soul and mind in the center of the brain. The all-seeing eye is your consciousness, your soul, because it's the observer of all things. It sees everything the mind is thinking. It sees all of the emotions you're feeling right now, and it sees with the 2 eyes. It's the all-seeing eye between the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. So basically, you are consciousness experiencing a program being ran by the central nervous system. In fact, you're not even seeing into reality. Light is sucked through the black holes of the eyes and an image is produced at the back of the brain. So everything is a projection from within yourself. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Always a trinity because you are a soul, mind, and body. Soul is the watcher. The mind is the projector, projecting the soul into different realities. And the body is the body you inhabit when you project yourself. Brahma has many different heads because the soul inhabits different bodies. The mind connecting the soul to the body. The serpent symbolizes knowledge for the mind. Matthew 6:22, the light of the body is the eye. Therefore, if thine eye be single, thy whole body should be full of light. You are the entity inside of the brain, and this entity is God. This is why the ancients always depicted God in the brain. Head is heaven, heel is hell. These are mind states which you manifest, not physical places. This PDF gets updated every month. The link is in the bio. Weekend is when you're weakened from the weekdays. A daze is someone who's unable to think or react properly, a state of stunned confusion. Words are spells, this is why we call it spelling. Did you know your subconscious mind takes everything you say as truth? When you use these words, your subconscious mind is picking it up as truth. When you say something is good and say it's sick, you're calling yourself sick. Or bless is be less. Words are encoded and they have secret meanings. Veganism saving me, God is good, listen is silent, and love is evil. You can't do this with the ancient languages. This is why they changed it. Because the Bible tells you death and life are in the power of the tongue. Because when you talk, you create Taurus fields, which is an electromagnetic wave. We actually live in cycles, which is a circle. The sun and the moon is the yin and the yang on the flat earth. The psych L is the L, which is the 12th letter, which is the 12 zodiacs. This is the cycle, the circle that we live in. Whatever you do, stop consuming seed oil. Particles do not exist, only electromagnetic fields. This is why nature is electromagnetism. Atoms are actually electromagnetic toroidal fields. At the center of every torus field there is a black hole and a white hole. White hole is white light, which is magnetism, which splits into 2 electrical components. The white light gives birth to redshift, which is explosiveness out of counter space, which manifests into the male action taker, the outforce. Once the spiraling field loses its momentum, it seeks back into rest, which is blue shift, which manifests as the female, which is the in-force. This is seeking safety. Physical matter, what we see, is a result of these 2 forces equalized on the plane of inertia, which gives you planet Earth. Yes, it's a flat plane. The magnetic light creates the 2 electrical effects, red and blue. This is why everything is red and blue. Red and blue pill on the matrix, red and blue tap, red and blue siren. Roses are red, violets are blue. Magnetism radiates outwards. It's pure. It does not have a vibration. But the effect of this radiating force creates an electrical vibration. Now, all vibrations have to come back to a standstill point like a guitar string. This is why our physical bodies die, because it contains of electricity. Electricity is mortal. Magnetism is immortal. By believing in physical particles, they've tricked your mind into a physical universe, when in fact all things seen come from the unseen, as says in the Bible. If you want to learn more, the link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. There is paperbacks and PDFs. Jesus never existed. The Last Supper is astrology. 12 constellations, 12 disciples. There are 4 groups of 3 for the 3 months in each season, spring, summer, fall, winter, which creates the 4 gospels, the 4 seasons of the sun. Because Jesus represents the sun, gives and takes, day and night, summer and winter. Aries is the first constellation, and Aries rules the head region. This is why Aries is standing on the head of the table. Taurus is the neck and throat. Taurus is the bull and they have thick necks. Gemini is the 2 twins, which rules the 2 hands, the 2 arms and the 2 lungs. Cancer is the crab and they have pinchers. This is why Cancer's holding a knife. Leo the dominant lion. This is why he's got his elbow on the table showing dominance. He's pointing out there is no Adam's apple, which means it's a female, which is Virgo the virgin, the constellation Virgo. Jesus the sun, the risen saviour, the light of the world. Libra is when the sun is balanced between summer and winter. This is why he's holding his hands out equally. The Bible is not history. It's riddled with coded astrological and metaphysical meanings. If you want to learn the truth, people, this book will provide you with everything you need to know. The link is in the bio to get your hard copy or the PDF. They keep you stuck in your left hemisphere of the brain. The right hemisphere is to do with creativity, intuition, and visualization. Instead, they want you to think logically and think in materialistic facts. The eyes are a part of the brain. They produce the visual field. The brain then creates the perception of the visual field. For example, if you're in a woods, the right hemisphere sees a holistic view of reality. It sees the woods as one entity. The left hemisphere analyzes and breaks down the perception created by the right hemisphere, meaning it's breaking down the woods into individual trees and branches. So they want you stuck in your left hemisphere so you do not see the connections between the external world and your body and your consciousness. John 21:6, cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and you will find fish. This is symbolic for moving your perception into the right hemisphere of the brain to see a unified perception of reality, to see the links between all things. For example, how you have 5 fingers, 5 points on the body for the 5 elements. In school, you are told to think logically. You're told what to do. You cannot create. You cannot use the right hemisphere. Spotify, Apple Music, and all of the music is tuned to 440 Hz, which shuts down the right hemisphere of the brain. Your mind is not your brain. The brain's the computer. Your mind's the invisible intelligence controlling the brain. The right hemisphere controls the left eye and the left side of the body. The left hemisphere controls the right side of the body and the right eye. If you want to learn more, the link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. It will show you everything you need to know.